Hi, my name is Leslie. I am a servant of God, and I'm going to tell you some things that are just going to blow your mind, and you're not going to believe it. So, number one, you are a immortal being and of energy. You know, your thought, your mind, who you are. When you die and you become that energy, you still are that person you think you are. Okay. You have an amnesia. That's part of the game. That's part of the deal. Number two, things are about to happen. The government knows about it. All the governments know about it, and they're not telling you. All the astronomers, the archaeologists, all the people of science, NASA, shit, NASA knows exactly, but they're not telling you because they think you're idiots. You're stupid. You can't handle the truth. And some of you may not be able to. Whenever you hear the word Jesus Christ, and his teachings, you turn and run. Your brain turns off. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. I don't know. And yes, you need to hear it. You need to know, because the whole world is going to turn upside down in a matter of a couple of months. I'll guarantee you that. It's just, you need to watch the space weather through NOAA. It's called NOAA Space Weather. I mean, yesterday we had an 8-point something X flare pointed right at Earth, which is going to hit us in what? Well, normally 3 days, but it could be 2 days. The sun is just going off, of radiation, gamma radiation. The solar flares are electrifying the Earth, and we are electric. Our system is electric. And now I'm telling you, the government knows. They're not telling you because they're afraid of what you're going to do. If 8 billion people knew what's about to happen, I don't know. You don't need to panic. You just need to be prepared. Don't buy all the toilet paper in the store. You'd be better off buying cases of green beans and rice and, what do you call it? Mashed potatoes, seeds. Definitely buy seeds, for growing vegetables and stuff like that. March 20th, we're going to go across the equator of the Milky Way galaxy, in which, we're going to have this, this Alice in Wonderland experience. Shit is going to get weird. And it's going to get weird before then. Things are going to happen before then. Haven't you seen all the distractions? The world is all disrupted, and we're all worried about this and that and the other thing. And that is it's a distraction from what's really going to happen. So we need to, I highly recommend that you read Matthew chapter 24. I highly recommend that you read Matthew in the New Testament of the Bible. I highly recommend that you read Zechariah and Malachi in the Bible in the Old Testament. The last 2 chapters, they call them minor prophets, but at this time they're like way major prophets. It's like, this is what's about to come across our threshold. We need to be ready. You need to have candles. You need to have food. I have 50 pounds of rice. I have canned food. I have, a few pounds of beans. I got seeds and I'm growing vegetables. I'm doing everything because what's about to happen is just going to blow your socks off. You're going to be sitting there going, what the hell happened? What's going on? Somebody tell me what's going on. And the government's not going to tell you because they're in fear that you're going to panic super bad. And which, if most likely you will, and you don't need to. Don't panic. Just get to know your neighbors. Be sharing and loving and caring. Have unconditional love with each other. Right now you should be buying, cans of green beans and corn, and fruit cocktail and peaches, everything that you can get in a can. You need to have months of storage, because the sun is going to do some crazy shit that might shut down the electrical field for like 6 months to a year. Once it's been blasted down. Yesterday we had a solar flare of an X flare, 8 point. Okay, that's like crazy shit. Happened yesterday, February 1st. You need to be ready, for what's about to happen, because it's going to happen. Like I said, March 20th is the day, and before then, things are going to get weird. You're going to see paranormal shit, you're going to see shit that's like, what the hell's going on? And that's just a thing. Get down. Get off there. And there's shit coming. There's a shit storm coming. And don't panic. Just get what you can get. Don't overdo it. Just get what you can get. And then share. And love others. Remember, forgive yourself. Love others as you love yourself. Do to others as you have done to yourself. Be loving and kind, generous and charitable. And the thing is, lifting each other up like I'm doing now. I'm telling you the truth. The thing the government will not do. They don't want you to know. They don't want this to get out. And it needs to. I was in a store talking to people today, and I said, you watch space weather, you know what's going on. And there was one guy out of 10. And he was like, yeah, And everybody else was like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, God. How can I educate you in 2 months? Under 2 months. And what the hell's going on? This is epic. This hasn't happened in over 13,000 years. And it's about to happen in less than a few months. This is going to be an epic year. And you need to listen. You need to understand. There's nothing we can really do except for come together in unconditional love. And not pointing guns at each other, trying to steal each other's food and shit. That's not going to work. That's not going to cut it. That ain't going to do it whatsoever. Let me tell you, not at all. The only way that we can get through this is through unconditional love, loving your brothers and your sisters, helping each other, doing for them what you do for yourself, giving, being service to each other, helping each other. So this is the warning. This is the big red flag, the thing the government won't tell you, the scientists won't tell you because they're afraid of losing their money, their funding, and their jobs. It's the thing nobody wants to talk about. And it's coming. It's coming. It's coming real quick, So when all this shit happens, you're gonna like get angry or whatever for I don't know why. And you have to remember when that hits you to go into like a meditation of love. Find that good, loving feeling, that happy feeling, wherever it was in your life. You could be 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. Find that happy feeling and go there. And then also find that in yourself to help each other, to love each other unconditionally. Just help each other and love each other. Be there for each other. Be the good Samaritan that's talked about in the Bible. Be that person, and you will get through this. But if you're not, and you become that evil, manipulative, deceiving person, you will not survive it. For what is done, you do to others will be done to you. So be loving and kind, caring, and giving. Have unconditional love. Have unconditional divine healing love for each other. I do, and I'm sending it out to you. And I will help you as much as I possibly can. But you have to receive it and then be it and then give it to others. So let that pillar of light come into your heart and fill you with that light, that bright light, and then overflow, and then have it overflow on others. That loving, unconditional love, that unconditional divine love, that unconditional healing love, that unconditional generosity, that love being in service to each other. Be that, and you will survive. You will make it. We will make it. Because I will be here, and I will be there, and I will help you as much as I can. So I got 8 weeks to help you. I'm going to do the best I can. So that's all I can do for you today. So remember, forgive yourself. Ask Jesus into your heart, and then love yourself. And then love others as you love yourself. Do to others as you have done to yourself. Be loving and kind and generous and charitable. Lifting each other up in your voice. Just lift somebody up. Talk to them. Tell them they're great. They look good. Because everybody does. We're all unique as we are. And do those things. So I give you this challenge to do this. And read the Bible. Read the book of Matthew in the New Testament. And know that you are loved. I love you unconditionally. I will always be here, and I will always do the best I can to help you to rise above. So peace and grace be with you. God be with you always. Choose wisely.